welcome to the People Touching People Forum, where each one teach one. I'm your host for this session, and my name is Donna Thomas. Tonight, we have a very interesting topic for you. We'll be talking about the issues that affect the family. And tonight, we have a special guest, Pastor Jennifer Lee. Pastor Jennifer Lee, welcome to our program. Pastor Jennifer Lee is an accomplished individual. She has her PhD in Christian counseling. She is also the co-pastor for Victory World Impact Ministries. Also, she's the leader and the visionary for the women's ministry and the superintendent for the Sunday school. Welcome, Pastor Jennifer Lee, to our program tonight.
Thank you,
Thank you for accepting our invitation. So
you
good
are
to have
welcome.
you. Okay, so let's give a brief overview of families and some of the issues that affect families. So first, family issues are problems that cause emotional or physical stress within a family. Family issues or conflicts are a common aspect of life. So every family, regardless of your situation, regardless of your position in life, go through problems from time to time. And while disagreement is natural, they can sometimes escalate into bigger issues that strain the family relationships, that cause lots of frictions and problems. So addressing these issues from early on can prevent them from becoming insurmountable obstacles in family relationships. So, Pastor Jennifer Lee, how important is the family in today's society?
Ms. Thomas, that's a very important question. I'm so glad that that's the first question we are going to address. Family in today's society is very important.
Yes.
Through a family system, we develop social skills. Families are a place where people develop a sense of belonging,
Yes.
which is the basis of social interactions and skills.
Yes.
Another important point, values is very important.
Yes.
The values teaches such as respect, love, faith, caring, ethics, and traditions.
Yes.
And we become responsible citizens. Strong families raise responsible citizens that contribute to a healthy and a stable society.
Yes.
And we also have a sense of community. You see, families foster a sense of community.
Yes.
And another important aspect, we fulfill the basic needs. Families are people where we will fulfill the basic needs, and we also develop a standard of behavior.
Yes.
Families are guardians of societies. It's a standard of conduct.
Yes, yes. And these are all very important. These are foundation. These values are foundation in determining the kind of family
That's
that we
right.
want. But things don't always go the way we want them to,
That's
right?
right. That's
So
correct.
there are so many different issues that can happen in our families. A variety of reasons cause our families to shake and sometimes crumble.
That's
So
right.
in our homes, including Christian homes. So tonight we're talking about both Christian and non-Christian homes, because there's conflict in both homes. There's abuse,
That's right.
tension, insensitivity, and communication breakdown. There are so many demands that rob us of our time, that pulls us apart from each other and disrupt our attempts at unity, stability, and
That's right.
sanity.
Yes.
So, Pastor Jen, what are some of the common causes of family issues, and can you give us some strategies to prevent them? How we can prevent these?
Definitely, Ms. Thomas. But one of the most frequent causes of family conflict is miscommunication or lack of communication.
That's a big one, yes.
That is a big one. Misunderstandings, assumptions, or simply not discussing important issues can lead to tensions and resentment over a period of time. For
Absolutely.
example, one family member might feel unheard or overlooked, and that would lead that family member to frustration.
Yes, yes.
And so how do we prevent such things from happening? We need to have open, honest dialogue.
That's right, that's
Encourage open conversation where every family member feels safe to express their thoughts and their feelings.
Yes.
Listening is another important aspect. Is practicing active listening is important rather than interrupting.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Another another issue is financial stress. See, money is a significant source of tension for many families.
Yes.
Savings or handling unexpected
Yes.
expenses, disagreements over financial matters can quickly
That's
escalate.
right. You're so
And
right.
a common example, Ms. Don, is when there's a loss of employment
Yes.
or a long-term illness or disability.
Yes.
So the way we can assist families member is to have a clear budget
Yes.
on planning, to minimize the financial tension, and to create a transparent budget that all family members can contribute
That's
to.
right, that's right.
And also another important thing the families can do together as a family unit
Yes.
is to seek professional advice. If finances are reoccurring issue, consult with a financial advisor.
Yes.
And they can help us to establish realistic goals and reduce the stress.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Because in today's society, a lot of families are going through financial stress. The bills is just, it never ends.
That's
So
right.
families are struggling. Do I pay the rent or put food on the table?
right.
So this can cause a lot of strain and stress in families.
Definitely,
All right.
yes.
And in addition to some of the examples that Pastor Jennifer gave, there's also work-life balance.
Yes.
Where, again, we're talking about how difficult the economy is. There are a lot of parents who have to do 2-3 jobs.
That's
They don't
right.
have enough time to spend with the family.
That's right.
There's also health issues. Families, maybe a mother, father is ill, they're not able to work, and that has such negative impact on the family. When persons are ill, probably there's no money to pay the
That's
bills, right?
That's right.
And there's also divorce separation.
Yes.
This is a biggie. Divorce separation, it affects every member of the
That's
family.
right.
Right? And then also there's blended families
Yes.
where you have a partner coming in with his or her kids, and then the family dynamics change
That's
totally.
right, yes.
Right? So there are so many different issues. There's also violence within the family
right.
where you have siblings probably they're always at war with each other, and then there's also change in family structure, problem behavior with adolescent or adult children.
Yes.
Because you have some adolescents that it's like they feel like they know everything. Mom and dad, they don't know anything. They're old now, so
Yeah.
we have all the answers. They don't listen. They make decisions that are not wise.
That's
And the
right.
decisions that they make, it affects the entire family.
That's correct.
Cause squabble, quarrel, confusion. There's also personality clashes,
Yes.
right? So you have two persons who are extroverts, they're out there and they're at loggerheads with each other. How do you reel them in and try to sit them down and let them realize that you're families and we have to respect
Yes.
differences. We have to respect each other's personalities,
That's
right? Of course, there's also jealousy,
Yes.
fighting among siblings because one parent might favor one more
That's
than the
right.
other,
That's right.
or one might be working so they're able to buy whatever they want, one's not working. So all of these cause a lot of strain and tension within the family.
That's correct.
All right. And then there's also some common issues that cause family arguments.
That's right.
And Pastor Jen will share a couple of those with us.
Well, some of the common issues that some family go through is someone leaving all the lights on when they aren't in the room.
Yes.
Another one is someone leaving the shoes in the middle of the floor or in the doorway.
Yes, and I don't mean to cut it, but I'm sure as Pastor Jen shares some of these common examples of stress and issue in the family, I'm sure many of you can relate to some of these that she shared because they're so common
That's
and they
right.
happen in all of our households.
That's right.
So-
Okay, another issue is that someone not doing their fair share of chores.
That's right.
Or not changing the empty toilet roll when
Yes.
they last use it.
Yes.
Another common thing is when the heating should come on.
That's right. And I'd like to share
Yeah.
on that because my kids will say, Mom, can I turn the heat on? I said, no, not yet. Put on your sweater. Put on your hat. It's not time. So they say, Mom. And I said, no, not yet. So it tends sometimes, depending on how hot or how cold
That's
is,
right.
some tension. Yes.
Okay, another issue is squeezing the rubbish into already full bin rather than emptying it first. And another issue, leaving the dishes to soak rather than just washing it. And that's another big one. Instead of washing it, they would just leave it in the sink, and then you
Yes.
wake up in the morning, and then your sink is filled with
Yes.
dishes. So that causes conflict
Yes.
within families. Leaving the toilet roll and not replacing it, and not flushing the toilet.
That's right.
And so the thing for me, whenever I use toilet, I must put the cover down.
Yes.
When it's not done, it bothers me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you
so,
realize that
yeah.
these are so common,
That's right.
yet they happen in all of our
That's
households?
right. Another biggie is someone slamming the doors or leaving wet towels on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, all those things can start arguments or disagreement within families.
That's right. So, as we share some of the common issues, this is just a reminder that families should pull together.
Yes.
Right? Should work together.
That's right.
Learn from each other, gain mutual strength from each other, and respect
That's
each
right.
other.
That's
So that's a
right.
biggie. So
That
when we
is a
respect
biggie.
each other, when we
Yes.
listen to each other, we learn from each other.
That's right.
As a result, we gain strength. Because remember, a family is a team, right?
Exactly.
So when we work together, things
That's
flow
right.
together,
That's
right?
right.
Okay. Having said that, it is important to realize that no family is perfect
That's right.
and without problems. Good parents sometimes have rebellious kids, and bad parents sometimes have healthy kids.
That's right.
So when things are not going well in the family, this does not mean that all is lost. It doesn't mean that it's hopeless, because every issue can be fixed.
That's
right.
correct.
So some of the issues that also affect us, events, past and present experiences such as death, drug abuse, loss of a job, those traumatize us.
That's right.
And will affect us sometimes long term, depending on how close we are to the family member that died, depending on how long we're out of a job for, and our belief system. This is important because I believe that families who believe in God
Yes.
handle their stress differently from those who do not. Do you
That's right.
agree?
I totally agree.
Absolutely. Expectations for the future are dim. Many people go through life feeling hopeless and helpless. When there is hope, there is more determination to make things better in the midst of difficulties.
Yes.
So, in spite of all that's going on around in our families, we're going to remain hopeful that better days are coming.
That's
This
right.
squabbling will end, the quarrel will end, because as Christians, we believe that when we have our faith in God, we know how, we feel that we are confident enough to know how to handle all of these issues. The impact of our decisions, the decisions we make not only affect us, the individual, but the entire family. Because remember, when siblings are squabbling with each other, and mom and dad are trying to get, trying to calm, trying to resolve the issue, and probably you're not listening, right? So that causes strain on the family and the other brothers and sisters in the family. And also the place of God. For some families, they don't know God. They don't have God in their life. And of course, this impacts how families deal with stress.
That's right.
Regardless of our belief system, every family is under the hand of God, who is sovereign despite the way he's sometimes viewed. So God is always in control. We
Yes.
just have to remain faithful and put our hope and trust in him, because as I said, there's no problem that's too great that cannot be resolved. We just have to have an open mind.
That's right.
Do you agree?
I totally
Of
agree.
course. Okay. And as we continue on, we're going to talk about some issues in the Bible, some examples in the Bible where they had tension, because from earlier on in the families, from early days, they had tensions too.
Yes.
So tensions and issues and conflict is it's not new. It has been happening from the beginning of time. So, Pastor Jen, can you share some of the examples in the Bible where there was tension?
Definitely. Well, the Bible mentioned tensions in family from the first family existed. Adam and Eve, for example, they experienced their share of family tension when Cain killed his brother. And that scripture is found in Genesis chapter 4, verses 1 to 16.
Okay, Genesis 4, 1 to 16. And I'll read. And Adam knew Eve, his wife. Hold on, just a second. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain,
Yes.
and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not
Yes.
respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted, and if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayed Cain, vengeance shall be taken of him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod and on the east of Eden.
Oh, thank you, Miss Thomas. And another example of tension in families in the Bible is Abraham. Abraham had problems with his wife and his child's mother, Hagar. And that narrative is found in Genesis chapter 21 from verses 9.
And I'll read. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which he had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And God said unto Abraham, Let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman, in all that Sarah had said unto thee. Hearken unto her voice,
Yes.
for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. And she went and sat her down over against him a good way off, as it were a bowshot. For she said, Let me not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him, and lifted up her voice, and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad. And the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him up in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation.
Amen.
And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad a drink. And God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an archer. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas, for reading Genesis chapter 21. And another example is also Jacob and Esau. And that narrative is found in Genesis chapter 25, from verses 29 to 34. Can you please read it, Ms. Thomas?
Yes, I will. So Genesis 25, 29 to 34. Here we go. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Amen. Thank you. And there are two more families we are going to look at, but at your leisure, you can read the scriptures. And that the next family would be David had family issues, and we all are aware of that. David's wife disliked him, and then you can find that regarding that in 2 Samuel chapter 6, verses 14 to 16. Also, David had to flee from his own son Absalom. At your leisure, you can read 2 Samuel chapter 17. Another family that had lots of tension and in their family is Joseph and his brothers.
Yes.
And it's a very familiar story. And where Joseph was sold by his brother into slavery because of what? Because of jealousy. And that narrative can be found in Genesis chapter 37, verses 12 to 32.
Okay, thank you so much. So we invite you to read them, because these families went through issues, similar issues to what our families are going through
That's
today.
right.
So, how else can we address the issues that families face? So, some of the other ways that we can address the issues: don't forget to love each other.
That's right.
This is a biggie.
That's right.
Don't forget to love each other. Don't forget to discipline.
Yes.
Because a lot of parents don't discipline.
That's
They just
right.
they do everything else except discipline.
That's right.
Remember to communicate with each other. Remember to respect each
Yes.
other's differences. And this is the biggest of all.
Yes.
Never give up on God.
Amen.
Never ever give up
Yeah.
on God.
Let God be the center of
That's
our
right.
families.
That's right. So, Pastor Jennifer, in addition to those that were mentioned,
Yes.
can you tell us some of the ways that families can address some of the issues that they often experience?
Yes, they can work out the issues. It's worth fighting over. Also, you need to separate the problems from the person. And also try to cool off first. If you
Yes.
feel too angry, to talk calmly.
That's right.
I think one that's the way you can do that, you can maybe go for a walk.
That's right.
And then after maybe 10, 15 minutes, come back and address the issue.
And what happens if when you come back, the issue, persons are still angry? What do you suggest they do?
If the person's still angry, then I would suggest that you pray.
Yes.
Pray. And
That's
see, when you
important.
pray, it brings that peace.
Yes.
It brings that calmness into your
Yes.
spirit, into your soul, and then you take it from there.
Yes.
Remember, God is in the center of this, and whatever is said and done, it have to glorify God.
Yes.
We have to be careful with the words that we use and what we say to each other. That is very important.
That's right.
Another thing is, keep in mind the idea is to resolve the conflict and not win the argument.
That's good. That's a good point.
Yes. Because some family always thinks, well, no, I'm right and you're wrong. No. The most important thing, you're trying to dissolve it.
Yes.
Right? And that is very important. And remember that other party isn't obliged to always agree
Yeah,
with
right.
everything that
That's
you say.
right. That's
And
right.
also we need to define the problem and stick to the topic.
Yes.
Do not go off topic.
Exactly.
Focus on the issue.
That's right.
And another thing is to respect other person's point of view by paying attention and listening. Because Ms. Thomas, because some people, you might think they're listening to you, but they're not.
No.
Because you're talking to them, but they already have something in their mind, how they're going to respond to you.
So they're not listening to what you're saying. Exactly.
But active listening is critical
Yes.
in solving family
That's
issues.
right. Totally agree.
Yes, and talking clearly and reasonable. And another thing is to try to find points of common ground, and also agree to disagree.
Yes.
Disagree. And this is so important about finding the common ground. And then it goes back to not to say that you're trying to win the conversation or you're trying to be right, but find the common ground where you both agree on whatever the issue is.
Exactly.
Whatever solution you came to, yes, that everyone is happy with that decision.
Yes. So the family is a team and therefore needs to work together
Yes.
to resolve issues. Remember, team togetherness.
That's right.
That's important. Once both parties understand the views and feelings of each other, you can work out an amicable solution
Yes.
together. All right? So a family can resolve many disagreements on their own, but some issues are so persistent or intense that they can be challenging to resolve without additional resources and support. In these cases, consider counseling with a therapist who specializes in counseling families. A therapist facilitates conversations to help the family members express their thoughts and feelings in a safe environment.
That's right.
The ultimate goal of family counseling is for every family member to understand and support one another. And I'm going to be quick to add, and to love
That's
one
right.
another.
That's right.
So during the family counseling, the counselor might tell you to come up with as many possible solutions.
Yes.
What do you want to see happening?
That's right.
Right? Are you willing to compromise?
Yes.
Are you going to stick to your views and not compromise? Because remember, in marriages as well as families, we have to compromise.
That's right.
We have to give a little, we have to take a
Exactly.
little. Make sure everyone clearly understands the chosen solution. And once the solution is decided on, it is important that you stick
Yes.
to the decision that was made.
That's right.
And if possible, you can always write it down as a contract if necessary, so that you can go back and say,
Yes.
this is what we agreed on.
That's
These are
right.
the rules that we're going to stick to. These are the plans that
Yes.
we're going to put in place in order for us to have a family where we respect each other,
Yes.
where we listen to each other, where we communicate with each other. So all of these are important in resolving
Yes.
some of the common issues, because some of these common issues, if you're not careful, they can blow into humongous situations.
right.
Yes. So if so, we just this is just a reminder, whether big or small, all issues, problems, and circumstances can be resolved. You just have to have an open mind, right? Our minds and actions can be healed and forgiven, and we can rewrite our stories. What do you say about that?
I
Do you
totally-
believe that we can rewrite our stories? We don't always have to be sad or angry or be quarreling with each
That's
other.
right.
No.
That's right.
No.
That's right. No, we definitely can rewrite our stories.
Yes, yes. So, so tonight we are just thanking you so much
Yes.
that you were able to join us tonight. We hope that you got something, some nugget out of what we shared tonight. And Pastor Jen, I'm gonna give you a chance to say thank you to all the people for listening and sharing with us tonight.
Well, to all the viewers out there, I just want to thank you. I mean, what we shared tonight, it would help you to solve some of the family
Yes.
issues. And remember, always keep God in the center
That's
of your family.
That's right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was such a pleasure having you with us tonight, and we're looking forward to you coming back on the People Touching People forum, where each one reach one. Please remember to like and share our podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. Once again, thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful day.